boys and girls, today we're going to make some nice scones, and if you're watching this video you'll probably seen me making scones before, but I thought it'd be nice for you to do with your mums or your dads. So today we're going to make some fruit scones, but you don't need to add fruit to yours. You can have it plain, or you can put some cheese in it, or you can put some cherries in it. It's up to yourself. But we're going to use handy measures again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out 200 grams of flour, which is about 8 rounded tablespoons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, before we start this, we should really put our ovens on. So I'm putting it on at 200, and we're going to preheat the oven for about 10 minutes to make sure it's at the right temperature for us to do our scones. So again, we're going to use 50 grams of margarine. Now that should be used straight from the fridge because it makes it much easier to rub in. Now you've done the rubbing in before because we did the apple crumble. So now we're going to do the same thing for scones. So just taking your fingertips, you rub in the flour, just trying to take it quite high so that you're getting air through it and it's making it nice and cool, keeping it nice and cool. So it just takes a couple of minutes and a wee bit of effort, and it should just coat the flour. So we're going to add to this 50 grams of castor sugar, and again we'll use handy measures. Now remember, we said a rounded tablespoon of flour is about 25 grams, so a level tablespoon of sugar is about 25 grams. So if you could come over here, have a wee look at this, you'll see that the margarine has all been rubbed in. Now you can use butter, you don't need to use margarine. It's much nicer to use butter, but today we're using margarine. So that's all rubbed in. Now what I'm going to do, just give my hands a quick wash so I can go on to the next stage. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add 25 grams of, or 50 grams of castor sugar, so 2 level spoons. Just use your wooden spoon to give it a wee mix. And then I'm going to add 2 spoonfuls of fruit. So I'm using currants today. Again, give it a little mix. So just make a little well in the middle, and what we're going to do is we're going to start to add our milk. Now I've added a little bit of egg to the milk because I quite like it. It gives it a softer scone, so it's quite nice to do that. And don't pour it all in at once. What you want to do is you want to just take tablespoons of the mixture and put it into the little well. So start off with about 4. And you'll see every mixture is totally different. You can't just say it's 40 mils of milk to add to it. Every mixture will be different, so you just keep adding until you get a nice stiff dough. There we go. Needs a little bit more. When you get to the stage where you think you've got enough milk in your, and it's coming into a dough, what you want to do then is to just use your hands to knead it a little bit in the bowl. So, finish with the wooden spoon, I'll just put it over here. So just take your hand and bring it together with your hand. Eventually it will just pick up all, don't be tempted to put more milk in it, it will eventually just pick up all of the mixture and make a nice dough. Now with scones you don't want to knead too much, you want to knead until you get it all together, and then we're going to start to cut them out. Now you can see it's picked up, it's actually picked up all the mixture, so we can put this away. Now, I'm going to use a cutter to cut the scones, but you can use maybe a small cup if you've not got a cutter, or a jam jar, anything at all, just as long as it's round and small. So we're just going to press it down till it's about maybe 1 inch thick. So that's enough. And we're going to put a little bit of flour on our baking tray so it doesn't stick to the baking tray. And if you want to, you could have put a little bit of flour on your table, but don't necessarily have to. So just taking your cutter, press down. You want to cut as many as possible from the first knead of the dough. You don't want to keep kneading doughs together because it's not nice. So let's bring that together. Press it down to about 1 inch. I'm just going to take this little bit and just make it into a nice round shape. I mean, you can use a cutter again if you wish. So before we put it in the oven, what we want to do is we want to brush it with either milk or egg wash, just to make sure it's nice and brown when it goes nice and brown when it's cooking. If you don't do that, they're awful pale. So just brush the top of them. Now, again, make sure safety first. We want to use our oven gloves for putting them into the oven. So open your oven door, pull your tray out a little bit, and place them in the oven. Push your tray in, close your oven door. Now it should take about 15 minutes. We've made some earlier. These are nice and these are quite well done, but you put 15 minutes and you should be lovely and brown. Thank you. Enjoy making your scones, guys.